Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of Move, where I share. Oh, what am I saying? Hi, hello, and welcome. Sorry,
Friends, we're
I'm gonna cut
here.
this one. Hi,
No,
hello,
don't
and
cut
welcome
it.
to. Hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the War on China, where we debunk all the different brainwashing that you have experienced through many, many decades. So I'm today joined once again by Mr. Mario Cavolo. He is a legend, and I know that you've been very, very
No.
busy, right? You launched your line of wine, your wine brand, your wine bottle, your own
Yeah,
private label,
yeah,
right? You're going to be
incredible.
on Dialogue again, and this is a very good one. Tell us a little bit more about that. The Edward Snowden Symposium in Beijing, right?
Unbelievable. What a week. And it's just like getting warm. We started on the weekend and we're getting warmed up. Hey, friends, amazing things happening in our lives and here in China. Yes. So first of all, I was at the European Union Chamber of Commerce up here in the Northeast,
Mm-hmm.
especially here in Shenyang. It's very, very active, important, and influential. And that's because of the large German industry up here in Shenyang. Shenyang is the home of BMW and all the German automakers and that whole German whole automotive industry infrastructure up here in the Northeast. So that makes the European Union Chamber also very, very active, important, and they do a great job. It was this wonderful family weekend out at the beautiful Shenshui Horse Club along the river. So wonderful for families, for friends. And we launched Mr. Ma's Bin 88. You got it, man? You got the photo? You're going to put it up now? Or when are you going
Yep.
to put it up? Mr.
It's
Ma's
gonna be
Bin. This
up
is
right now.
unbelievable. What a story. And last night I was on Dialogue. It wasn't I'm going to be on Dialogue. I was already on Dialogue. Again, last night with Shui Qinduo, Xi Jiqian. Go check it out, 7:30. Sunday evening weekend show. And that was, we were talking about the 9/11 anniversary and the latest happenings of what's happening in Afghanistan. And then I was invited, and I'm speaking Wednesday morning, and I'm so honored because Wednesday morning in Beijing is the 19th annual Edgar Snowden Symposium with a lineup of speakers who are true experts on Snowden and his work through the universities, through the Edgar Snowden Foundation. It's just a remarkable story. They've asked me to speak for a few minutes. I'm on the lineup. I'm excited about that. Amazing. Just so
Well,
what a great week. And where's my photo of my wine? What happened?
I think I already put it. It's just that I got a very slow connection.
You
There
put it
you go.
up?
There's your one. Yeah, it's right now on screen.
There it is, man. Wow. Look at that. I mean, so look, we talk a lot about the difficult things, the negative things. We need to. They're important. We're angry. We're experts. Listen to us. We know what we're talking about. But Mr. Ma's China Adventures is the new theme, the new project. The new channel is going to be coming real soon. And it's all about building the brands and telling the stories. And Tai Long Lean Vineyard is a Brussels Concourse Mondial 2021 Revelation Award winning wine vineyard. And we have ventured up with them. I told them I want a private label stock, at least 10,000 bottles, and they did it for me. Their 2017 award-winning wine is now Mr. Ma's Bin 88. There it is on your screen. I can't
And that's
believe it.
what
I'm
you.
so excited. You know what ended up happening is we got into the European Chamber meeting, and they told us, well, you can have a display table if you want. And we were like, wow! So we were rushing to do, this would be our first launch event of the wine. So we were rushing to get the labels printed and everything. So we got some they're nice labels, you saw, but they're temporary. And we need,
Yeah.
we're gonna up, finish them up later. Just amazing. Now, Fernando,
Nice.
what about you, sir? You're not home. Come on.
No,
What's going on?
this is not the regular Movie studio. No, I'm on the road. I'm in Ningbo. I'm shooting some live stream, some videos with CGTN for their Tides of
Fabulous.
Change Season 2 show. I joined them yesterday. We were in Wenzhou and we shot a live stream over there that I would like to show you a very short clip of what this Tides of Change is. So have a look. This is
Cool.
what we're doing.
Brave the wind and
Cool,
the waves.
cool.
Transformation is taking place.
We will join the local fishermen as they celebrate the Open Season Festival and show you the logistics innovation of
Southeast China.
We sail further north to China's east coast. And to give you a new perspective of how China builds its blue economy and seaside life, Tides of Change continues on CGTN.
So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm going to be with the CGTN team for another, I think it's 8 days. We're going to shoot a couple of things here in Ningbo. Today, we were hit with a typhoon, a category 14. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, what do you mean 14? The maximum is 4. He's an English sailor. He knows about these things. But apparently, there's a different scale here in China. So when I said 14, he was like, what? But yes, it's a category 14, quite bad. So we didn't shoot much today. We only went out to shoot that little promo. Today we are in Ningbo, and we're about to shoot some content for some state media. But unfortunately, we learned that a Typhoon Chantong, is going to hit Ningbo. And we've come to this place where we see all the preparations that are taking place here under the bridge at the in Ningbo, where they're actually building all this sandbanks and sandbar to protect from flooding, to protect the bridge and the city from flooding. There's, I don't know, dozens of workers ready to spring into action to start putting more sand and more bags on top of things in case the waves are too big. Now, the wind that is expected is classified as a level 14, which is actually quite high. But yep, these people have been working day and night to make sure to keep us safe, keep people here in the city safe. And well, that's all I can report from Ningbo from this moment. So any new developments about what's taking place with this particular typhoon and the work that I'm doing right here, I'll be letting you know as soon as I can. And we're going to continue shooting after we finish with well, all the precautions that need to be taken care of. Also in the news, guys, to let you know, not something that I'm doing, but something that's going to be related to what we're going to talk about today. There have been a few COVID cases that have flared up in China, right? The Xiamen, and then there's Fujian. There's up to 60 cases, I think. And some of them are quite unusual because it happened to be a person who came from Singapore, and he had been in quarantine, and he tested negative 3 times, but still he
Then he tested positive?
Then he tested positive, yes. And he has a spread a little bit in Southeast China. So there's a bit of precautions being taken as always. So before we jump into the topic, which is, well, today's is what? Teachers, F-22s, and your mother. That has to do with COVID. I also want to talk about the article that was published about YouTubers and their work that we do. This clip that I just showed you with CGTN is one of the things that Western media don't really understand. So they wrote an article about me, Lee Barrett, or the Barrett Channel, and Jason
Fernando, zoom in on yourself while you're talking. Zoom in on yourself while you're going on about this. Okay, go ahead, do that.
Well, I want to show you a couple of pictures. Basically, this article was published and syndicate was done by AFP. They interviewed me, and with your help, I was able to navigate that interview because it was a little bit difficult. They had a lot of loaded questions, but they syndicated this story, and it's all over international news. It's in Australia, it's in the UK, it's in the United States, it's in France, it's in Malaysia, Singapore. It's all over the place. And well, I have to say that I'm grateful for the opportunity to give the message that I wanted to give. Not all of it, but part of it. I also think that there are a couple of corrections that need to be made. So I'm going to be making a video talking about that. But namely, the thing that upsets me the most, and I hope you understand this, Mario, they don't get my name right. Come on, man. You talk to me for an hour and you can't get my name right. That's really upsetting. And Not only that, but I'm the only person that they interviewed, right? I mean, they talk about the Barretts and they talk about Jason, but they decided not to talk to AFP. I'm the only person that they talk to, and they don't have a single picture of me.
Of you.
That's what
And
happens.
you were the
That's what
one who
happens
was
when you're
willing.
ugly.
You were willing, right? You were willing to talk to them. You gave them an hour, and they didn't even
No
put your
picture.
picture in there. No,
But
no.
I
And
have
one
one
other,
more. I have one more.
yes,
One
yes.
more. This is critical because I mean, come on, it goes to the professionalism of this journalists. Hong Kong Free Press, one of the organizations that syndicated that bought this article and they used it. They used the picture and the legend says Fernando Munoz Bernal, and the picture on top of it is the Barrett's channel. Have a look. Is it showing? You can see there at the bottom, Fernando Munoz Bernal photo, YouTube screenshot. That is the Barrett's channel. It's insane. I mean, how can they do that?
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about us. Let's start talking about today's topic, which is teachers in the United States. So Mario,
Yep.
what is this
Yep.
about? Tell us.
Yeah, I will. And just a quick last on that article. 64.9% of that article was even-handedly explaining things.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, but then the rest of it, they just kept sticking the digs in there that were just not right. And I knew, and they were just not accurate. And so they keep doing that stuff. It's unfortunate. Anyway, okay. Let me say this. Lead it right into our topic for the day. Teachers, F-22 pilots, and my mom. I mean, what's going on? It's not just China that's doing bad reporting, Fernando. That's what I want to say to everybody tonight. Is the malign press and the bad press, meaning mostly mainstream press, and we know who the culprits are, and all those talking heads over there in America, both on the left and on the right. They're not just doing terrible reporting about China. They are doing terrible reporting about China, okay? But it's not just about China. They're doing it within the United States itself. They've created a malign situation. And as far as I'm concerned, and I said it in an earlier tweet today, the media over there has got to get reined in. They are feeding the frenzy and creating the frenzy with their master manipulation of people's heads and people's emotions and brains. It's horrifying. It is not the news anymore, and so it's quite a disgrace. And primarily in the United States right now, it is 2, 3, 4 main areas where it's the situation with respect to blacks, Black Lives Matter, and all and that, and then the other part of that, the other protest stuff going on, Antifa, and then this dovetails right into everything that's political over there, left, right, front, center, liberal, progressive, conservative, extreme. I mean, they've got you all running in circles to hate each other, and it's the media and the politicians, and it's the media. It's the media. They're the nightmare. They are feeding the problems of the society. So many people over there say to me, they don't even watch the news. They don't even read it. They don't even watch it. Drudge Report, which used to be, a aggregate of news headlines, now reads like an aggregate of Hollywood Inquirer and all these gossip rags. And it's a mainstream media aggregator of headlines. I mean, it's all disgraceful. And of course, the other main area that the mainstream media keeps doing a terrible job on, and by the way, so are the politicians, right? On both sides, and that is the situation with respect to COVID and the situation with respect to the vaccines. Folks, I don't know why you're having a hard time with this, okay? You can't change the fact that this is a very, very, very nasty virus, and now you've got the variant. It is nasty. It is hurting and ruining a lot of people's lives. when you have nasty diseases, thank God that and modern medicine, that God gave mankind the ability to create modern medicine, to come up with vaccines. Your kids get vaccines when they're kids to avoid horrible diseases. Okay, so when you need a vaccine, you need a vaccine. All my life, I haven't gotten flu shots. I didn't get them. I didn't, because it wasn't that bad, but it is bad now. I expect to get one of these vaccine booster shots every year for the rest of my life, and I will. You know why? Because I don't want to end up like two teachers in one school. Two teachers in one school in Texas. The articles, look, they're out there. They're all out there in the news. Two teachers in Texas, in one school. One was 39, one was 54. They're both dead. Two teachers in one school dead within like the same month? Are you kidding me? And then you're going to try to tell me it's not bad? Think about when you went to school. Was there ever two dead teachers in your school at the same time?
Month?
Within a short period of time, who were otherwise young people, young people? No. Think, people. Okay, so that's number one. The second story is that, and again, it's also Texas. All the teachers in the school got COVID, were spreading like crazy. All the teachers tested positive, and the school was not in an urgent state, not even informing the parents of this. Can you imagine being
that, man?
This is what's going on, Fernando. This is insanity.
I mean, there's a thing in America, there's all this thing about privacy, right? There's all this idea that, medical records are private. I forget the expression is HIPAA or something like that. There's some kind of protection to hospital information. But
Hippocratic Oath?
No, the Hippocratic Oath is for the doctors.
No, that's not that. That's the doctors. Do no harm.
Yeah. This is basically something that gives you the right to not disseminate information about your medical records to the public. Protects a person from not having its medical record out there in public. But this is different because this is a pandemic. If you, for example, it's one of the questions that we always asked about Tucker Carlson. He is exercising his right not to say whether he has been vaccinated or not. That is a right in America, and that's one thing that he has been doing. Now, what we are seeing here is that people are not telling the people that they work with or the people that they work for that they have COVID, and then all the kids and all the families, the kids get it, and then they go back home. What is going on? I mean, there is. We talked about how we can name this particular show and this situation, and it's all about freedom, but it's freedom out of control. It's freedom out of control. That's the way I feel that this is what's taking place in America. Yes, there are freedoms, but you need to rein in certain freedoms in order to have a society that can cooperate, that can work, that can perform its duties and perform its normal operations. Just what took place in France, for example, what was taking place in France, this fights on the street between vaxxers and anti-vaxxers. It's, my God, everything separates people. Everything divides people. This is one of the things that is becoming so black and white as a differentiation between China and the rest of the world. And why is it so? I have to say something that a lot of people probably are not going to like. I think it's about the vaccine. The Chinese vaccine doesn't show the side effects, doesn't have the mortality that other vaccines have there. I just said it. Numbers don't lie and facts are facts. I'm sorry if anybody takes offense on this, but we are glad that we are taking the Chinese vaccine. Now, what can we do? Are we going to tell people, hey, don't get vaccinated? What I would like to tell you is, If you could get the Chinese vaccine, you would have better chances. If you could take the Chinese vaccine, you would be in a different situation. I'm not saying this just as, I mean, do your research, look at the numbers, and you'll find out that what I'm saying is true. The mortality and the side effects are way, way less than with Moderna and AstraZeneca and the other ones.
You're opening Pfizer. I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100% on the fact that you, me, and our audience right now to sit here and realize the fact that you, Fernando, just opened up a huge can of worms. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But you did. This is the can of worms. Okay.
Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody
traditional,
because it's so difficult to prove or so difficult to support with science. But the numbers are the numbers. I mean, what explains the numbers? That's not for us to determine, but the numbers are there. Sorry that I interrupt, Mario. Go on.
No, beautiful. Because in the previous 2 or 3 episodes, we got schooled by some of our listeners, and thank you, in the comment section where we were pushing very hard and strict on this idea. We're in a pandemic. You need to get vaccinated. I don't want to hear about it. Okay, fine. And I still stick to that. But we only categorize 2 people, the people who are, crazy and unreasonable, or the people who got vaccinated. But there was a third group, and this is what a lot of people in the comment section said. I remember it was like episode 13 or so. And they said, look, there's another category you guys didn't talk about, and that's those of us who are sane, calm, intelligent, and afraid of this vaccine. We're afraid of this Pfizer and Moderna vaccine because we're reading about that there are much higher incidence of severe side effects, heart inflammation and strokes and blood clots and all these kinds of things. So, and we're genuinely concerned. So I was like, wow, we blew that one. We didn't cover that fact. And that's what we're covering right now. And
we're coming at you from our hearts. We're coming at you from our hearts in the sense that this is what has to be said. This is what has to be put out there for discussion. And really, the choices are very tough because you are forced to. Now there's this mandate whether you get vaccinated or you get fired. Right? But if the choice is not safe, not everything is safe in life, but there's always risk, right?
It's the evaluation of percentage.
The risk. There's a higher risk that something is going to be wrong if you take the other vaccines.
That's the truth. And that is
so right. We apologize. I apologize for that video. Sorry. I apologize to the people when we were pushing to get vaccinated. Because we understand now. We understand, and this is where this video is coming from, but we understand now that there's a greater risk when you're talking about other vaccines. How do we connect this to the F-22 story, Mario?
Well, it is. It's exactly the F-22 story is exactly this exact story, and it's really difficult to navigate, but we have to, and I don't like it, okay? I don't like it at all, because we're not scaremongering the vaccine in America, which is the Pfizer, the Moderna, the AstraZeneca, the mRNA. Okay, the non-traditional, the Sinovac and Sinopharm are the older traditional dead cell vaccines. Very low incidence of side effects, and if there are any side effects, they're mild. You just get a little fever and you feel a little achy, which is what happened to me twice for a little bit. So okay. That's it. Okay. None of this crazy stuff. None of these crazy, severe responses. Okay. But we're not scaremongering it. We're noticing it. We're not saying don't get vaccinated. I'll never say that. I'm sorry. You got to get vaccinated. Okay. Okay. And yes, it's a little higher risk to you, but it's still really low risk in a general population. So you got to deal with that individually with your doctor. If you're at higher risk than normal for some medical reason, go talk to your doctor, okay? And you should be able to have choices. And I'm sorry, in America, you don't have the choices. To be honest with you, right, when it was time for me to get vaccinated, I said to my wife, I want the Sinovac. I don't want the Pfizer. I told her, I said, I don't want that newfangled one. that's causing more side effect problems. I don't want it. I just want the old traditional one, even if it's a little less effective. Which now it's not less effective. It's just they're all doing fine. The vaccines are effective. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. I said to my wife, I don't want Pfizer. I don't want Moderna. I don't want it. She said, good, because you're not getting it. You're getting Sinovac here in China. She said, yeah, I only want the old traditional dead cell vaccine. That's the only one I want. So that's the one that I got. Right now, we got to move on to this. The F-22 pilots. Did you get it up or no?
No, I didn't get the files. Oh, can you play it? Maybe the
sound
of your phone.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Okay, tell us what it is and
right.
Where did you
So
get
there, look. I'm not going to go into the detail exactly of what it is, but it's obviously this guy who is very upset, and he is a vet.
And I think that's appropriate because it signifies an America that's in distress. And maybe some people don't know this, but my dad just let me know this. A text message went out last night from the Secretary of Defense to all the active military personnel saying, by 10 a.m. you have to go get the magic potion or you're going to be court-martialed. And so as a result of that, 12 F-22 pilots, the highly...
So you get the idea, right? He's saying that in the military, and I respect the military, okay? My father served in the Korean War. The military does its job right. It keeps the world safe. Thank you for that. Not thank you for going beyond that and killing innocent people, which is the fault of the commanders and the government. No, not thank you for that, but thank you for the good part of the military, keeping the world safer. Okay, that's good. So I have respect for the military of many countries, not just the United States. And so there's this military guy, and he says, well, here in the military, they were all just informed, get the vaccine or get court-martialed. Now listen to me for a second, because now I'll continue. What did he say next? He said that 12 F-22 pilots said, screw you, and walked off. That's 12 F-22 pilots who are, these are the most talented and important people in the world, flying these multi-million-dollar aircraft for their country. So again, I respect that. I highly respect that, which is why I have a hard time understanding why they would do that, because they're healthy. They're not at risk of, they're not obese. If you're obese, diabetic, etc., you got higher risks of everything, including a vaccine. These are healthy military people, okay? Your job is to serve your country. Get the damn vaccine, okay? Who the hell are you to refuse the vaccine? You're in the military to serve your country. Your country invested in you, and they're asking you to get a vaccine, okay? You got doctors and healthcare professionals all over the world, all over in the ERs and the ICUs, taking care of overflowing numbers of sick people in ICU, 90% of them not vaccinated. And you're in the military, you're young and you're healthy, you're a guy, you're a stud, you're a woman, you're strong, okay? And you're an F-22 pilot and you're refusing to get vaccinated? And then he also says 16 crew members who are B-52 bomber crew members, and you're refusing to get vaccinated, and you're healthy people, and you're obligated to serve your country? I got a problem with you. You know what problem I have with you? My mother. Because my mother got vaccinated. She's 83 years old. My brother, my mother's partner, he's in his 70s. My brother, he's a couple years younger than me. I'm 61. Okay, I got vaccinated. So these are my family members back in America. They all got Pfizer. None of them got side effects. The vast majority of people don't get any side effects. Yeah, there's some small risk, and I appreciate that. But unless you're in an outlying group situation, unless you have some specific medical problems where you should go to the doc and say, hey, I got this medical ailment, that medical ailment, so what's the story with the vaccines? That's a discussion between you and your doctor, whether you should consider not getting the vaccine for some specific medical reasons.
Sure.
If you're an F-22 pilot, you don't have that problem. So what is this crap?
What are the chances that these 12 guys are under that same circumstance, yeah, that they have certain issues that the doctors have told them not to? What are the chances
That's
that
my
all 12 of them and the other B-52s, is it, pilots are
16,
all...
16 crew members of B-52 bombers. Yes.
And here's the thing that I don't understand, and sorry, we can get back to your mom in a second. When you join the military, you're kind of like doing it to serve your country, and you're willing
That's
to
my
pay
point.
the ultimate price. Let me explain. You're willing to pay the ultimate price, which is basically to die for your country. If you're okay with dying because a bullet hits you, why are you not willing to take the risk of maybe having side effects of a vaccine? What's the difference? Somebody explain that to me. You are
ridiculous. I
willing
don't
to
get it at all.
die. You are willing to die for your country via, I don't know, a bullet, a bomb, a mine, a grenade.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not willing to take the risk of taking a vaccine. There's
healthy.
there's something
Yeah.
right there that
Right.
that doesn't square in my head.
Yeah. But my mom got the vaccine. I mean, this is like, it's like my 83-year-old mother got vaccinated, but you won't get vaccinated? What the hell is wrong with you people? I mean, I can't even imagine it. So the answer is, again, you said it earlier, freedom out of control. Fernando, this is the thing that gripped and killed America. One of the things. And that was this neoliberalism. This neoliberalism came into the society. They started deconstructing everything. This neoliberalism and progressivism, it's still going on. And it's a cancer in the society. This idea, I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I feel like is right and is good. And if I feel like I want to do it, I can do it. Doesn't matter my responsibility, what I have to do, how it affects other people. I am free. I do what I want. You can't tell me what to do. This is the Western society like this. These people in America, by the way, not all Americans, 50, 60%, I think about of Americans, you are the most beautiful, wonderful people. Just like 50, 60% of Chinese and Italians and Germans and Africans and everybody from every country. Yeah, and Colombianos. Yeah, beautiful people. Wonderful Americans. Oh, you're so lovely. Okay. The rest of you are a bunch of lunatics. Okay. And you're selfish. You become the worst, most miserable, selfish people on the planet. And it all is coming from what your government and your media has done with this neoliberalism, that they've put it into your brain and they've ruined your society. You think you can just I can do what I want. Freedom. Don't you understand? With your freedom, you're taking away the freedom and safety and stability of other people because you think you have the freedom to be a-hole. Okay? You don't. You don't have the freedom to be irresponsible. Okay? You have a requirement to be responsible to the society in which you live. Of this, I am absolutely certain. They're just very selfish people, Fernando.
This expands the extension of this situation that we are seeing taking place in France, in England, in the US. It's pitting two concepts against each other. Everybody's talking about, there was the New York Times saying like, oh, should China abandon its zero COVID policy? What the heck are you talking about? Do you know the cost? Do you know the amount of energy, money, effort, lives, everything, planning, execution that it takes to have a zero COVID policy? And you're now wanting China to abandon it? Are you stupid or something? It is time for the world to start doing what China is doing and pursue a zero COVID policy. It's never going to happen. The world will never copy China. And it's too late. People are already tired of all the different restrictions and limitations to their lives. Had they done that in the beginning, had everybody done what China did, we would be in such a different place right now. But they didn't. And right now, when is the world going to reopen again? When will the world be that global village that we were painted back in the 80s and in the 90s? That was the idealism. What are we going to do? China has a zero COVID policy that is extremely effective and keeps its people safe and keeps the world running. If China did not
Can
have
you-
a zero COVID policy, the economy of the world would have collapsed a long time ago. So people fail to be grateful for what China has done. And that's really upsetting. They attack China for the policy, but at what price? But at what price? At the price of the economy, at the price of society and the world to keep working on. Think just only about PPE production. Just PPE production. If China had collapsed, what other country would have been able to produce the amount of PPE that's necessary to control this pandemic? No other country would have been able to do so. So asking China to abandon its zero COVID policy is suicidal. It's suicidal. It's never going to happen. Mario, what's your take on this particular predicament?
These people are looking at a reality that they can't fathom, and they're getting all twisted up in their heads about it. They can't fathom the fact that China succeeded so incredibly well while their side failed so incredibly badly. And they're embarrassed by it, and they're freaked out by it, and they're scared of it. And it's not just the failure of handling the pandemic, but that shines a light on all the other things that Western society has been doing wrong for the last 20 years, which is what we've been saying all along. All this began, the deterioration of society, the neoliberalism that kicked in, and it was one of the things that caused the deterioration of society, has worn people down to the bone. They're bitter, they're raw, they're angry, they're like a dog in a corner. And they're lashing out, and they need someone to blame. And then you need the media and Donald Trump to give someone to blame, and that someone to blame is China. They need an outlet. They can't accept the self-responsibility of the fact that they blew it themselves. They can't. And if you're a citizen in that country, it's not your fault, because it's because of the policies and the misinformation. You're stuck in that country. And you're stuck there. I can't imagine if someone said to me, I don't think someone could give me $1 million to get on a plane and go to the United States right now. Even though I'm vaccinated, I'm still afraid to get the virus, because the vaccine's not perfect, I mean, so people are angry, they're upset, they're twisted up, they need that enemy. Something else I thought of, and it slipped in my mind, it slipped back out of my mind. So back to you, Fernando.
Well, yeah, basically, ladies, gentlemen, friends, that's our show for today.
Wrap it up.
Teachers, F-22 pilots, and Mario's mother. Thank you very much for watching, and until we'll see you again, that has been A War on